battle in Toledo, Ohio. It's the Northern Illinois Huskies and the Toledo Rockets. Toledo trying to stay in the hunt for a MAC championship. Both their conference losses this season just by one score. NIU, meanwhile, they need to win out just to be bowl eligible. Hi, everybody. Who's ready for some action? Rocky Boyman, Jay Alter with you, and we're expecting a quintessential action game. It's windy. The cold weather elements are all here, and both of these teams are looking to run the football tonight.
Jay, you know I'm a Midwest guy. This is Midwest football weather to a T. Tough, a little cold out there. And to your point, yes, I think both these teams are going to try to come out tonight and pound that rock.
And that's going to be easier said than done against this Toledo defense. They've been one of the best teams in the nation when it comes to preventing the run.
Yeah, absolutely. They're number one in the MAC in yards rushing, giving up just 93.5 yards per game. But that's not all they do well. They lead the MAC defensively in a bunch of other categories. It's a fantastic unit that Toledo has.
They're one of the best defenses in all of college football, headlined by Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. There are 9 NFL scouts in the building to see that man.
He is your typical center fielder, sideline to sideline safety that can still come up and play the run. He is exceptional at pounding that rock out and getting that ball loose and getting a takeaway for his defense.
Now, Toledo knows that NIU is going to try and run the football. The Huskies had 57 rush attempts in their win against Ball State last week, and they're very effective when it comes to pounding that rock.
Absolutely. Thomas Hammock, their head coach, is a former running back, so you know they're going to run the ball. How about 305 rushing yards last week? And, Jay, I don't know the last time I heard of this. 37 rushes for 166 yards last week for that man right there, Chavon Wright. He's their leading rusher. He's going to look to do the same tonight.
Well, he's bumped up following his offensive coordinator from Division II football, and he has proven he belongs in the MAC. They're looking for a win on the road against the home team Toledo Rockets. They're ready for some action, and so are we. We've got kickoff on ESPN2 next.
Okay.
Stop forcing ads for your forklifts on financiers. Start marketing to the right people by targeting industries and functions on LinkedIn ads.
When the season demands more, you come prepared. With more warmth where it matters, more control when it counts, and more confidence to go further. You're more than ready to make this winter yours. During the Mitsubishi year-end sales event, drive away in a new Mitsubishi SUV with 0% for 60 months on every model.
We are almost ready for kickoff. Rocky Boyman, Jay Alter with you. Looking forward to this one at the Glass Bowl on a Wednesday night. Two teams that are looking to run the football in this cold weather. There's Jason Candle, the Toledo head coach, his 10th season at the helm of the Rockets. He knows how to win in this league. The all-time winningest head coach of Toledo, 77 wins. He's won the conference, as has Thomas Hammock, head coach of Northern Illinois. And it's different, Rocky. To win in this league midweek, you got to run the football and stop the run, and you have to bring energy on a Wednesday night in difficult elements. And we've had snow in action. It's going to stay dry, but
thankfully
the wind is going to be a factor. Gusts up to 30 miles per hour coming off the shores of Lake Erie here.
Well, and there's no question about it, Jay. I mean, midweek action is all about who can generate the most energy and who can bring an edge. In these kind of elements, this time of year, you got two squads here. They've known each other. They play against each other every single year. They're going to go toe-to-toe.
And that's one thing that is easier said than done. You know, every coach says bring the edge, but who's really going to bring it on a Wednesday night? These two teams, two of the most consistent teams in the MAC in recent history. Toledo has won 4 of the last 5 meetings, and the Rockets are ready to receive. In the blue uniforms, NIU set to kick it away. White and black. That's fitting the senior Andrew Glass in the Glass Bowl, ready to get things started on a Wednesday night. We're underway. Midweek Maction is here. Chavon Rudolph, the return man. Big hole opens up for Rudolph. Plenty of room to run. Turns the corner. Steps on the gas. Rudolph. 20 yards to go. It's a foot race. He's in. Touchdown, Toledo. Chavon Rudolph. How about that for some action? A 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown.
Well, Jay, we just got done saying Maction is about who can bring the energy. I'd say returning the opening kickoff of the game, that is bringing some energy to your squad right here at home for Toledo.
And Rudolph does it against his former team, transferred in from Northern Illinois, facing his former teammates in the Huskies. And he throws the first punch, a 95-yard kickoff return, and that's got to feel good.
And, you know, this is the time of year, Jay. Early in the year, the ball kind of gets kicked out of the back of the end zone. It's a little colder, so now it's fielded on about the 10-yard line. And Chavon Rudolph, who has really been emerging as a receiver the last couple weeks, shows you his explosiveness, a great cutback at the end, some excellent blocking downfield, and they start this game off with a bang. And Jason Kendall, Jay, told us last night in the meetings how much special teams are a factor in these Maction games. Again, these two teams, they know each other offensively and defensively. They play every single year, but special teams always play such a huge role in these games.
What a start for Rudolph going against his former team, Northern Illinois. And you're right, Rocky. He was a player that the coaches just heaped a ton of praise on, really coming on as we get to the business end of the season. That goes for a touchback. There's the special teams coordinator, Stanton Weber. He comes in, graduate of Kansas State. It was all about special teams here. If you're going to get a special teams coordinator from anybody, you want one who's a Kansas State guy.
I've played a bunch of special teams in my life, Jay, and there's nothing that'll inject some life into your team like returning a kickoff for a touchdown. Stanton Weber all fired up. The scheme, the plan came together, and Rudolph and company executed.
Okay, so 14 seconds in, NIU, you're on the road, you're down 7. How do you throw a punch back here?
I think you got to go to your identity. You run the ball, try to settle down a little bit. Nope.
Looking to the air, floating one into the secondary. It's a dangerous pass. Nearly intercepted. Gary Gibbons was well covered by Avery Smith. So everyone comes in after they ran the ball 57 times to win against Ball State, thinking Josh Holst, all he's going to do is hand it off. They attempt a 40-yard pass on first down.
Yeah, I think the strategy is all week. Toledo's like, we got to stop the run, try to surprise Toledo with a pass. But that secondary, Jay, as we'll talk about throughout this game, is elite in this formation, diamond formation.
Now it trips, and then one more out to the near side. Holst, bubble screen. Pass is caught on second down. Diari Rogers takes it for a first down, gain of 11.
And I like that right there. I think NIU, yes, they're going to have to run the ball to win. But early on, let's try to stretch that defense out horizontal. Let's get them more toward that sideline. And once we do that, have some effectiveness with that, then we go back to our bread and butter, the run game.
The Huskies only attempted 11 passes the entire game in the win against Ball State. They've already attempted 2 on the opening 2 plays of this drive. Now a handoff. This is what everybody was expecting tonight. Chavon Wright swallowed up. Kevion Sherman, the junior linebacker, shot in to make the stop.
Yeah, Kevion Sherman is one of those guys, new starter this year. He's a junior, but he has really come on. 56 tackles. That's number 57 on the season. He's a great linebacker.
57 carries for more than 300 yards in that win against Ball State. First carry for no yards on this drive. Right back to Wright. And once again, Sherman's right there. He understands his assignment. Rocky, you played linebacker 8 years in the NFL. What's that like when you know you're going against a great running back?
Well, look, it's all about gap assignment, knowing where you're supposed to be. A good rock back technique. He flows with it, but then when Wright tries to cut it back, he mirrors that, keeps his hips square, and then attacks, comes downhill. Textbook linebacker play right there from Sherman.
And this is where NIU does not want to live tonight. 3rd and long. They need 9 yards to keep the drive alive. Holst back to throw. Toledo sends 4, floats it, right on the money. It's caught. First down. Rogers, a great grab, gain of 14 to extend the drive.
Great catch. And Rogers is far and away the #1 option for Holst in this passing game. What an excellent catch, going up and just high pointing that ball over top of Nasir Bowers, who is one heck of a nickelback for Toledo. It's a way to spark that pass game here and get a first down.
Toledo, one of the best defenses in all of college football, just 3rd in all of FBS for total yards allowed this season. Very difficult team to pass against. Their secondary, probably their strongest unit. All 5 players return to this group.
And you mentioned it, the experience, which is just gold in football anymore. Their whole back end, it's all seniors, graduates, upperclassmen that have played a lot of football together. And they play quarters coverage, Jay, and not to nerd out, but that's, where they get a lot of those safeties are inside that box, taking that run away.
2nd and 7. Right back to Wright. Up the middle. Couple of yards, sets up a 3rd and manageable in Toledo territory, so it could be 4th down territory.
Well, if I'm Toledo's defense right now, I am finding number 6, Rogers. He is their best option. He's at the top in that trips formation, the receiver off the ball.
They hand it off to Wright, trying to fall forward. I think that's a play call you make when you know you're going for it on 4th down.
It appears to be to me, exactly. But you can see what NIU wants to do. They're like, look, we can't just let them, Toledo, play 9 guys in the box. We want to spread them out, get some guys outside those hashes toward the numbers and try to run it.
Last year, the matchup between NIU and Toledo, Thomas Hammock's team, the Huskies, were stopped 4 times on 4th down. They're trying to avoid a turnover on downs here. 4th and 2. Holst throws. There's contact and a flag.
Yep, he got there a little early.
They were looking for Rogers, and Nasir Bowers got there before the ball did. And this will give NIU an automatic first down to keep the drive alive. There's Jeremy Valentine, the referee, making the call.
And it was great anticipation by Bowers. He just needed to hold off a split second. You see, there's the contact well before when the ball was getting there. And it also doesn't help when the lines judge is right there 2 feet away from you.
So a fresh set of downs after the penalty. 1st and 10, 9th play of the opening drive for NIU after giving up the opening kickoff. Chavon Wright, you're going to hear his name all night long. 37 carries a week ago, and Thomas Hammock, the head coach, said, look, I played running back, and I used to say, feed me. Well, guess what? We're going to feed Chavon Wright.
And Chavon Wright is built like a tank. 5'8", about 215, strong, physical. He's a guy, Jay, you watch him on tape, he always seems to fall forward. He rarely takes a loss.
There it is, falling forward after the contact again. Kavion Sherman shot in. He's got 4 tackles on this opening drive. So Wright has nearly 5,500 career yards, a lot of those coming at the Division II level. He followed his offensive coordinator, Quinn Sanders, from Charleston College, which is in West Virginia. Sanders gets the offensive coordinator job, brings his top running back with him, and he proves that he belongs at this level.
Absolutely. He's been a workhorse for NIU this year.
and 6. Holst surveys, throws over the middle. It's dropped. Tried to squeeze it into Gary Givens. Sherman in coverage. He's done it all for Toledo on this drive defensively.
I was going to say, Jay, Chavon Sherman must have got the message that, hey, NIU is going to try to be physical. We need active playmaking linebackers tonight. And 38 has shown up this time in pass coverage.
So NIU going for a 50-yard field goal attempt with Andrew Glass. Now the wind is behind him. Gusts up to 30 miles per hour coming off the shores of Lake Erie tonight. Glass from 50 would be a career long, and he drills it. The wind definitely aided that one, and Andrew Glass, his previous season high 39 yards, connects from 50, and NIU cashes in 3 on the opening possession. We've got a good one from Toledo. Action just underway.
When the season demands more, you come prepared. With more warmth where it matters. More control when it counts. More confidence to go further. You're more than ready to make this winter yours. During the Mitsubishi year-end sales event, drive away in a new Mitsubishi SUV with 0% for 60 months on every model.
College football primetime presented by Ram Trucks. Toledo a 7-3 lead over NIU early. Over on ESPN, they're just wrapping up NBA countdown before a doubleheader in the NBA. Timberwolves at Knicks tips off 7:30. And then Spurs and Lakers are your nightcap. Flip back and forth. Overlap season is here. Basketball is tipped off. And we got some college football for you on a Wednesday night. The scoring has started early. A 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by Rudolph. They kick it away from him smartly, and Bryson Hammer upended at the 12-yard line. And we get our first look at Tucker Gleason in this Rockets offense. What do you like about the veteran quarterback, Rocky?
Well, number one, this is his 5th year in this system. That just doesn't happen anymore, but he's capable with about everything. The deep ball is great. He's a big guy, but he can roll out and move and run with his legs. And then again, Jay, I think this is the part of his game that needs to really emerge tonight is his running ability. Last year, he rushed for 325 yards. This year, not on pace for near as many. I think tonight might be the night we see it.
Hand off to Chip Trainum on first down. That's a good news for Toledo. Trainum has missed the last 2 games with an injury, but back in the lineup tonight, and that can be your quarterback's best friend when you have a reliable running back in Trainum. He averages more than 100 yards per game.
Well, he's got a great combination for a running back, Jay. He's big and he's got speed, right? 5'11", close to 230, but he can roll.
Gleason with a big weapon back in the lineup for this Rockets offense. They go right back to him. Only a gain of 1 there. Pretty nice when you're a quarterback and an offense and you take your first snap, your first series already in the lead up 7-3.
Yeah, that's nice. That gives you a little bit of breathing room, allows you to kind of relax and get into this game.
3rd and 5 here against an NIU defense that has been playing very well. They're playing their best football of the season at the right time here in November down the stretch of conference play.
Best receiving option, Junior Vandeross at the bottom here.
Looking that way, throws that way, went to Vandeross. It was a low throw, and they say he caught it. Moved the chains thanks to Junior Vandeross. Went down to grab that one.
Yeah, he's one of the best receivers, if not the best in the MAC. And look at the veteran Ball goes down low. Is able to hold on to the ball through the catch. That's good for the first down. Peter Vander Ross leads the MAC with 8 receiving touchdowns this year.
Vander Ross in motion, number 2 in blue. That's where Gleason goes, where the chips are down. Dialing up a deep ball, right back to Vander Ross, and this time they couldn't connect, but a flag flies in. This will be pass interference against Devion Reynolds.
And Tucker Gleason, Toledo will call shots. They'll run the ball, and they'll throw it downfield. I like him getting Vander Ross going early here. This is just a go ball down the sideline, but Reynolds, you can see he is wrapped all the way around Vander Ross. Head does not make an attempt to get back to the ball. That's an easy one.
And that can be a risky throw when you're throwing that ball into a 30-mile-an-hour wind.
Right into the wind, yeah.
Toledo going against that wind. And around to Rudolph. Couldn't quite turn the corner. Bounced out of bounds after a gain of 4. Remember, it was Rudolph who returned the opening kick for a 95-yard touchdown. So you know he has breakaway speed.
And you know he's into the flow of this game, so keep getting him the ball. And Rudolph, a guy, early in the season, especially the Western Michigan game, had a couple of drops, but last couple of games he's been more consistent and been much more of a factor.
Second and 6, midway through this opening quarter. Right back to train him. When you miss 2 weeks as a running back, it's important to get back in your rhythm, the flow of the offense, and that's what they're trying to do with train him.
Yeah, it's always tough missing some games. You just kind of feel like you got to get loosened back up and get into the flow, and they're trying to feed him early.
11th in FBS with more than 100 yards per game on average. He's been playing college football for a long time. 2 years at Arizona State, 2 years at Ohio State, Kentucky, and now his 4th college at Toledo. Pass completed to Vander Ross. Needed 4, and they say he only got 3 with forward progress, so a decision to make with a 4th and 1 upcoming for Toledo. It looks like Jason Candle's going to elect to punt this away.
Yeah, it's tough. And Vander Ross tried to get past that line, but wasn't able to. It was a great tackle, and now they're going to be punting that ball into the wind here.
Play clock down to 10. Could be a fake punt attempt here.
I think this is the right call. On this side of the 50, this point in the game, I think you punt this ball away. You trust your defense. You got the best defense in the MAC.
They're actually going to take the delay of game and give an extra 5 yards to the punter. Or no, a timeout taken by Jason Candle with that play clock running down. So Toledo burns their first timeout ahead of the 4th and 1. The Rockets are going to talk things over ahead of the punt. We'll take the timeout as well. Toledo up 7-3.
Get 1 to 7 flexible days with Epic Day Pass. Ski and ride the 7 legendary back bowls at Vail, North America's largest ski resort at Whistler Blackcomb, over 7,000 acres at Park City, the 5 peaks at Breck, family-friendly terrain in McCoy Park at Beaver Creek, and explore so many more world-class resorts. Save up to 65% versus lift tickets with Epic Day Pass. Prices go up November 16th.
When the season demands more, you come prepared. With more warmth where it matters, more control when it counts, and more confidence to go further. You're more than ready to make this winter yours. During the Mitsubishi year-end sales event, drive away in a new Mitsubishi SUV with 0% for 60 months on every model.
Is Presented by Ram, official sponsor of the College Football Playoff.
Toledo leading 7-3, and they were putting together a strong drive but stalled out at the 49-yard line. Jason Candle had his punt unit out there, then play clock winding down, takes a timeout because they were about to get a delay of game, and during that timeout, he changes his mind, offense on the field.
Has some time to think about it. They're going to try to get this thing right here.
Toledo only 3 of 14 on 4th down this season.
And now you loading the box. Look at this.
Toledo's got the first down and more. Chip Trainum all the way inside the 20. There's a flag down at the line of scrimmage, and this might be coming back. As it stands, a 36-yard carry on 4th and 1. But everyone's marching back.
Defense number 52, 10-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
Yeah, and it was Boswell. You can see he literally tackles him as he's pulling around. I think that was Flip Machikowski there that he was not able to. And what a shame there that a big run's going to come back, but that was easy to call. He literally tackled him.
Jason Candle told us yesterday it's the little details that have cost them in 3 one-score losses, and that's a great example right there.
Penalties, drops.
NIU came after that punt. Duran just got it away. Takes a Toledo roll to the 16-yard line. And that's where the NIU offense will take over. Bailed out by the hold on the 4th down conversion. Josh Holst and the Huskies offense have the ball when we come back.
When the season demands more, you come prepared. With more warmth where it matters. More control when it counts. More confidence to go further. You're more than ready to make this winter yours. During the Mitsubishi year-end sales event, drive away in a new Mitsubishi SUV with 0% for 60 months on every model.
Last year when these two met, points at a premium. This is the lone touchdown. Tucker Gleason hooking up with Junior Vander Ross, one of the all-time great wide receivers to put on a Toledo uniform. And then NIU, 4th down was not their down. 4 turnover on downs. Toledo won it 13-6. We've already seen 4th down be a factor for both of these teams in the first quarter. Toledo leads 7-3. Holst play action. Connects with Bryant, and he takes it for a Huskies first down.
I'll tell you what, you got to give NIU a lot of credit. They got the opening kickoff taken back on them for a touchdown. And here they are. This is a 4-point football game. And they start off the drive with a first down. Getting the ball outside to LaDon Bryant. Thomas Hammock and his crew are fighting.
Yeah, impressive resilience on the road. Midweek action. 95-yard opening kickoff return for a touchdown. And since that point, NIU's been the better team in this opening quarter.
They have. Look, they've struggled this year. At one point, they lost 6 straight. After getting the opening kickoff taken back, they very easily could have folded the tents, but they haven't.
Play clock runs down to 1, and Thomas Hammock burns a timeout. Gives us time to tell you about the excellent slate of games we've got on Saturday. A triple header on ABC, Saturday college football. The top teams of the Big 12 squaring off noon Eastern in Lubbock. Number 8 BYU and number 9 Texas, or 7 and 8. Both ranked in the top 10 by the College Football Playoff Committee. And then Texas A&M at Mizzou and LSU at Bama is your nightcap.
I mean, Alabama. That's why you love college football, right? At the beginning of the year, first game, they get their doors blown off by Florida State, and oh my God, they're terrible, and they've been playing really well, now the number 4 team in the nation.
It's a long college football season. You are not defined what you do on week one or really any week. It's the totality of the year. And I always go back to what Kirby Smart told us, who's had so many successful years at Georgia, that usually what defines a football team is what you do on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1. And we've seen that already in this quarter between Toledo and NIU. Toledo has a 4th and 1. They gain 36. That gets called back for a hold. They got to punt it away. And NIU has managed to move the sticks on 3rd and 4th and 1 and short. Deep ball. Ball's incomplete. They were going back to Bryant. They must like that matchup against Andre Fuller. Couldn't quite connect.
And this is what NIU, Jay, is going to have to do tonight. You watch Toledo's defense. I mean, they are literally, everybody is inside about 7 yards. I mean, that box is packed. So they got to find a way to stretch the field. They try to go with the post route down the middle of the field. You just got to be able to hit some of those. And that ball, looked like it just hung up in this air with this wind blowing around.
And NIU with the wind at their back. That one definitely soared on Holst. 3rd and 7. Holst in trouble. Trying to wrestle out of a sack. Down he goes. Sean Carter, the senior out of Detroit, delivers his first sack of the season. And it forces NIU to punt it away.
It was just a 4-man rush, but look at the fancy footwork, the club, the rip, and getting right to the quarterback and bringing him down to the turf. You know, we talked about this secondary, very experienced, been around a while, but it's this front 7, the linebackers and D-line, a lot of newer guys have really come on this year.
Bryson hammer. This is returnable. Trying to break a tackle. The 35 just falls forward for a return of 4. Tucker Gleason and the Rockets offense back on the field with a 7-3 lead thanks to that opening kickoff return for a touchdown. Gleason's got one of the best chemistries with a wide receiver in all of college football since 2024. Gleason to Vander Ross. Look at that, 121 receptions.
And they've been playing together for 4 years. So, yes, the chemistry is there. He knows where Vander Ross is going to be at all times.
2 players, both out of Tampa, Florida, playing in Toledo, Ohio.
There's a pipeline from Florida to Toledo. It has been a while.
Gleason throwing on 1st down, threads the needle. That's the true freshman, Ryder Treadway. Great grab there, gain of 11, and a Rockets 1st down.
Exceptional throw by Tucker Gleason there. He fit that ball in a tight window.
Go to the run game here. A hurdle. How about Kenji Christian going airborne for a gain of 3?
And Kenji Christian, he's that back, you watch him on tape. He's more the shifty guy, but he also can do this, just flat jumping over players. You know, kind of a good little change up for Toledo. You get Chip Traynor, who's kind of the pounder, downhill between the tackles, and Kenji Christensen, who can make you look foolish in space.
Play action. Gleason gets rid of it quickly. Pass is caught. Wrestled down at the 45-yard line is Rudolph. Gain of 4. That sets up a 3rd and short here.
I'm NIU. I'm trying to find number 2 in blue, Junior Vander Ross, the go-to guy by a long shot. He's at the top of the screen, 3rd from the bottom. There you are. Now he's going all the way out wide. See if Tucker Gleason sees a matchup he likes here.
Vander Ross in motion. Play clock down to 2. Here's Gleason on a 3rd and 3. Surveys, throws, had a man wide open. It was Rudolph, and he just dropped it.
And that's been the thing with Rudolph over the course of this year, Jay. He's athletic, he's a playmaker, but he just had some untimely drops. I mean, that ball is right on the money.
And Jason Candle's going to leave his offense on the field. We already saw them go for it once on 4th down. They converted, gain of 36, but it was called back for a hold.
Well, I think that he has a lot of confidence in his defense. He's going to try to pick up one.
4th and 3, trying to keep the drive alive. Gleason rolls left. There's a flag down. He throws. Gleason is hoping that there was something in the secondary that will bail Toledo out. As it stands, it's a turnover on downs, but there's 2 flags down. So let's get the calls here.
Receiver downfield, number 55, offense, holding, defense, number 3. Those penalties offset, remains 4th down.
So it's a replay of 4th down. And another decision to make if you're Jason Candle.
Here's the defensive hold on Vander Ross by Finley. And I wonder if Toledo's going to think about it. Yeah, they are. They're now going to punt this ball away. Jason Candle said, look, we don't have the momentum here. And
in this first quarter, we've seen Toledo put out their punt unit, take a timeout, and then put their offense on. And now their offense was out. They get a penalty call, redo 4th down. Now their punt unit's out. So they're showing it all on 4th down. And NIU very aggressive on the first punt from Emilio Duran. They come after him again. Duran. A line drive into the wind. It's fair caught by Rogers at the 10-yard line.
Tell you what, Jerry, we've been talking a lot about Toledo's defense. We've got to give NIU's defense a lot of credit as well. They're the 2nd leading pass defense in the MAC, giving up just 168 pass yards per game. They don't give up big plays. They tackle well. That's a great unit. Toledo's finding that out right now.
Well, the NIU defense has not been the problem for the Huskies this season. You look at that 2-6 record, and it's misleading when you talk about how productive the defense has been. Offense is what has plagued them. Chavon right into traffic, only a gain of 1.
Somebody better block Chavon Sherman. He has, I believe, about 7 tackles right now, 6 or 7 tackles. And you see NIU offensively, I mean, 2nd to last points per game, dead last in pass yards per game. It's been a struggle for the Huskies offensively.
And the problem with that is when you're a poor passing team, everybody knows you're going to run. You load that box up and make life difficult. Telly Johnson Jr., his first carry tonight, goes for 3.
That's exactly right. And in particular, Toledo, again, with the amount of quarters they play where you're getting those safeties are coming down in that box a lot. There's just too many bodies. NIU has got to find a way to stretch that field, try to catch a one-on-one and push the ball down the field.
That does it for the opening quarter. Toledo started with some fireworks, a 95-yard return to the opening kickoff. And since then, they've been in control, up 7-3 after 1.
Popeye's $6 Big Box is back. 2 pieces of signature chicken or 3 tenders, 2 sides and a biscuit. One serious deal. Make Thanksgiving just as easy and delicious with Popeye's Cajun-style turkey. Love that chicken from Popeyes.
When the season demands more, you come prepared. With more warmth where it matters. More control when it counts. More confidence to go further. You're more than ready to make this winter yours. During the Mitsubishi year-end sales event, drive away in a new Mitsubishi SUV with 0% for 60 months on every model.
Start of the second quarter, college football primetime presented by Ram Trucks. Rocky Boyman, Jay Alter with you. NIU with the football, trailing 7-3. First 14 seconds is really all NIU has done wrong tonight. A 95-yard kickoff return touchdown for Toledo. Big opportunity for the Huskies here with the ball to start the second.
Important conversion here for NIU.
3rd down, quick hitter, Holst found his tight end. That was knocked free. Andre Fuller pried it loose. Devin Akers couldn't hang on to the pass by Holst. And NIU forced a punt, and that feels like a missed opportunity, Rocky. You got it 3rd and 6 to start the second, and you can't convert.
Yeah, and Holmes wants to go to the outside. He sees that box stacked up, but it's just 3-on-3 to the outside. And we talked about that secondary. That was Andre Fuller coming up with a big stick, knocking the ball loose. NIU's going to have to punt, and Toledo's got to see if they can get something going on offense here.
And the Huskies have to punt into the wind, the change of field in between quarters. And we've got more than 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts tonight here in Ohio. Hammer fields it at the 40. Makes a couple men miss. He's taken down in NIU territory. So this is excellent starting field position for the Toledo offense. Tucker Gleason has a 7-3 lead, looking for more with good field position.
When the season demands more, you come prepared. With more warmth where it matters, more control when it counts, and more confidence to go further. You're more than ready to make this winter yours. During the Mitsubishi year-end sales event, drive away in a new Mitsubishi SUV with 0% for 60 months on every model.
Tucker Gleason, Toledo quarterback, a 7-3 lead. He's got the best starting field position for either team today in NIU territory. As we remind you, Allstate, they celebrate every field goal and extra point made at participating universities by donating to the university's athletic scholarship fund. Thank you, Allstate. Good opportunity for Gleason. Ball at the 44-yard line of NIU. Hands it off on first down. Good running here. Hard running. That's Kenji Christian. We saw him hurdle a player in the opening quarter. He's getting a couple carries here.
I'd like to see get a couple carries, Jay, is Tucker Gleason, the quarterback. Again, you go back to last year, he was such a weapon running the ball, not as much this year. I thought tonight might be a game they go to that. We'll see.
Gleason goes under center for the first time tonight, now backs out of it. Two teams that came in wanting to run the football and neither able to establish the run. It has been all defense in this one. The lone touchdown tonight came on the opening kickoff for Toledo. Pass complete to set up a 3rd and 2. Terrell Crosby Jr. makes his first grab of the night.
It's unfortunate that ball was low because there was no one around Crosby. He catches that thing right between the numbers. He can scamper forward for the first down. Now it's going to be a 3rd and 2.
And Toledo has struggled in these short yardage situations. Both teams have, to be fair. Just a combined 2 of 8 on 3rd down. Gleason rolling right. Throws. It's caught. And the Rockets move the chains. Needed 2. Got 4. Trayvon Rudolph makes the catch.
There's Quinn Erweiler, the linebacker for NIU, the number 3 tackler in the FBS coming into this game. Great linebacker for the Huskies.
Caught in coverage there, and Rudolph had a step on it. Fresh set of downs, 1st and 10. Play action. Gleason throws it short. Pass is caught by the tight end, Jacob Peterson. Transfer from Holy Cross, gains 7. Peterson, 5 catches out west in Washington State a week ago.
He's far and away their best pass-catching tight end.
And off to train him, no running room. Defended very well. Deshaun Dixon, the senior defensive tackle. Loss of 1.
NIU's front right there just built a wall. There was nowhere. I'm watching this. Trainham's looking around. Where's the daylight? Where's the daylight? There is no daylight. It's all filled with white jerseys. Defense really playing well tonight.
Bending but not breaking. 3rd and 4. Gleason throws. It's caught. First down, Toledo and more. Spinning out of the tackle. Crosby taken down inside the 5. Big time 3rd down conversion, and Toledo is in business.
Great job, and a good job by Gleason. He just let the wide receiver get all the way open to the outside. Good job by Crosby with the fancy footwork, breaking the tackle of Finley.
Toledo has struggled in the red zone this season, though. Just a 77% score percentage. They got a 1st and goal from the 2-yard line, looking for their first offensive touchdown of the night. Gleason takes it himself. Bulldozes it in. Touchdown, Toledo. The offense was looking for that score since the opening kickoff was taken for a touchdown, and Gleason, the 5th-year senior quarterback, delivers.
Well, we finally got the quarterback run, Jay, and why not? Tucker Gleason, 6'3", 250 pounds. That's such a weapon down here. You get inside the 5-yard line. You got a big, thick quarterback like Gleason. Excellent call, excellent run.
And the home team Rockets cash in on the short field. They go 44 yards in 7 plays. And Toledo starting to separate here. Tucker Gleason picking up the old school phone, and he's picking up the old school yards with some tough running.
That's right. It's been a lot of passing from Toledo, but inside the 5-yard line, Tucker Gleason takes them himself, punches it in, 14-3 Rockets.
One second, they're a neighbor you like. The next, they're a neighbor you trust.
Actually, no problem.
One second, you're worrying about your home. And then, thanks to ADT, there's a lot less to worry about. Feel secure enough to let others in with Trusted Neighbor from ADT.
When the season demands more, you come prepared. With more warmth where it matters. More control when it counts. More confidence to go further. You're more than ready to make this winter yours. During the Mitsubishi year-end sales event, drive away in a new Mitsubishi SUV with 0% for 60 months on every model.
Random fandom, meet the man who is currently attempting to visit 100 college football stadiums in 100 days. He goes by the name G-Fed. It began all the way back on August 28th at NC State. He's been all over. Tonight at Toledo, and it's fitting because this is a Maction guy. He went to Western Michigan, fell in love with football, really his freshman year when Western Michigan had that incredible year going all the way to the Cotton Bowl, rowing the boat with P.J. Fleck. There's my guy, G-Fed. So this is incredible. 100 days to go to 100 different stadiums. This is day 68. And it doesn't always need to be game day. Yesterday, he was at Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, and it's fitting that we tell his story of this incredible journey on a Wednesday night in November. He's fighting the elements here, blowing his nose on a Wednesday night.
So if you're going to visit 100 stadiums, you got to get to some midweek Maction, right?
Especially when you're a Maction guy. Again, Western Michigan grad. I asked him, in the 100 days with 100 different stadiums, how many nights will you sleep in your own bed? He says 4.
Wow. That's dedication.
That's what we love about college football. All right, now NIU looking for a spark offensively. Down 14-3. Wright tangled up and taken down.
Until NIU finds a way to stretch this defense out and hit some perimeter pass plays, you're going to get a lot more of this, right? Opening drive, they get the field goal, and After that, it's been a 4-play punt drive and a 3-play punt drive. It's just Toledo's defense very stout inside. It's just hard to hammer away at them.
Hole strolling right. Decides to try and run it himself and does so out of bounds. Now, part of the combination of why NIU is struggling is this has been an offense that we showed you the numbers has been one of the poorest producers in all of college football, going against a Toledo defense that's number 3 in the country in total yards allowed.
Yeah, and Holtz, his season high as a passer is just 161 yards. You know, he's a redshirt sophomore, came from a smaller high school program. He's a guy that's got to be developed. That doesn't necessarily help him right now.
Third and 6. Huskies desperate to move the chains. Holst dials up a deep ball, jump ball, and it's knocked away. Incomplete. Terrific coverage by Nasir Bowers, the senior out of Lakeland, Florida. Denied the top target, Rogers.
And these Toledo defensive backs can flat play some man-to-man. That was a great job. He finds the receiver on the corner route, latches onto him, gets his eyes back, still able to knock the ball out. Textbook coverage.
Bryson Hammer awaits the punt. Toledo takes over the 32-yard line. The Rockets in the driver's seat right now, a comfortable 14-3 lead. Their offense back on the field. Kick off your NFL Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern with the Countdown Crew on ESPN and the ESPN app. They'll tell you everything you need to know, taking you right up to game day.
And a real opportunity right now for Toledo. They get the touchdown drive on their last drive. Now they come back out. Decent field position. Really start to try to close the door here on NIU.
An 11-point lead doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're an offense that struggles like NIU has, it can feel like a mountain to climb. Gleason, play action.
And that is the thing. I mean, this is a team you get up by 3 scores on. It might as well be 6 because how bad they have struggled offensively. And I know Jason Candle and Toledo know that.
Gain of 13 to train him. The Rockets just keep moving the sticks. 6 first downs in this first half. You mentioned Jason Candle. He calls the plays here for Toledo, and he said, we've moved the ball all season long. We just don't have the points to show for it. In this second quarter, the moving the ball has resulted into points, and they're looking for more on this drive. Gain of 6 to Jacob Peterson.
And I know a lot of teams, Jay, will say, oh, we're only 3 plays away from being 7-1 or, you know, that sort of thing. But I think that really does apply to Toledo. You know, it's been some missed opportunities, getting some drops, a couple plays here and there. This is an extremely powerful team that's sitting here 4-4.
2nd and 4. Gleason goes right back to Chip Trainum. 2 catches out of the backfield for Trainum. As you dissect that 4-4 record, Rocky, Toledo is 4-0 at home and 0-4 on the road, and 3 of those 4 losses away from home have been 1-score games where they led in the second half.
Exactly, yeah. 2 times this year blown some leads. They had a 13-0 lead against Western Michigan. They lose 14-13. Same thing happened against Bowling Green. And this is just a different team, Jay, at home. At home here where they're undefeated. They're putting up 49 points per game. On the road, just 15 points per game.
Jelani Williams is down for NIU. Getting attended to by the Huskies medical staff and their head coach, Thomas Hammock. He's in red. We'll step aside as Williams gets treatment. Toledo up 14-3 midway through the second quarter.
When the season demands more, you come prepared. With more warmth where it matters, more control when it counts, and more confidence to go further. You're more than ready to make this winter yours. During the Mitsubishi year-end sales event, drive away in a new Mitsubishi SUV with 0% for 60 months on every model.
Introducing Verts. Swipe for news and highlights. Now available on the ESPN app.
Midway through the second quarter, Rocky Boyman, Jay Alter with you. We've had a good one here in Toledo. Action living up to it from the opening kickoff, which was returned for a Toledo touchdown of 95 yards. And now the Rockets driving in NIU territory with a 14-3 lead. Kenji Christian, a catch out of the backfield. He takes it just past the 25-yard line. Toledo getting a lot of production from their running backs in the passing game.
Great job. Look at that block on the outside there. That's Connor Jones, the tight end. That's what it takes, blocking on that perimeter.
Play action again. Gleason checks it down, and once more to a running back out of the backfield. That is the 5th time he's connected with a running back through the air on this drive. Chip Trainum there.
Toledo definitely happy to have Trainum back. He'd missed the previous 2 games. Very much involved both running and pass catching.
Trainum has played just about everywhere. Arizona State, Ohio State, Kentucky, now Toledo. He's averaging more than 100 yards per game. Gleason throwing to the end zone. It's caught! Touchdown Toledo! But there's a flag down. Eric Holly, the senior, had a shove in the end zone. And this touchdown is coming back. And Holly knows it.
I think it's
pass interference. Offense number 81. 15-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Now to create that separation, Eric Holly clearly shoved off, and the refs caught him.
Yeah. You see the top of the screen there, over top of Devion Reynolds, and you see right there easily the push off. Come back to that ball. Tucker Gleason's looking on that back end. It's well covered. Tries to find Holly.
So this backs Toledo up to the 36-yard line. Instead of a touchdown, it's 2nd and 23. Gleason sets up the screen. This is Trainum. It's a lot of that penalty yardage back, but it's still going to be 3rd and 13 here for the Rockets.
Yeah, good job here, just a little angle route. Gets his blocker out in front of him. Jonathan Harder, the guard.
False start. Offense number 89. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
And Toledo just can't get out of its own way here tonight. It's been everything we talked about, right? That's held them back most of the year. There's been some drops, there's been some penalties. The push off in the back of the end zone by Holly.
And look, they still have the lead, but they could have separated even further. 2 penalties that.
And you ask yourself why you're 4-4. It's because you've allowed some teams to hang around there longer than they should have, and that's what they're doing with NIU tonight. 4 penalties for the Rockets tonight.
3rd and 18. Gleason throws. It's caught. First down, Toledo. What a conversion on 3rd and 18. Gleason finds his top target, Junior Vandeross. That's one of the best connections in all of college football, and they show why there.
When in doubt, go to your best wide receiver, the best in the MAC. Watch out for Gleason running it here.
He hands it off this time, bulldozing in. Chip Trainum just muscles his way into the end zone. And Toledo is starting to separate.
And you almost sense, Jay, that Toledo, they get the penalty, they get forced back. When they sense the blood in the water, they get the seam route by Vandeross. Great catch. And a run after. They get right up to the line. They get behind. Look at those bodies blocking, pushing guys off the line of scrimmage. And Trainum just carrying Huskies into the end zone.
Just plowed his way in for the score. 9-play, 68-yard drive for Toledo, and they have taken control in this second quarter.
It was a great opportune time to use some tempo there. You get the seam route for the big chunk yardage play, get right up to the line before NIU knows what's going on. Chip Trainum busting the end zone. James Finley blowing right through his tackle for the touchdown.
They have found another gear in this second quarter. The first 2 drives, they moved the ball, but it stalled out around midfield. The last 2, they've punched it in for 2 touchdowns.
And it's been balanced, through the air. Effective ground game when they needed that. And a lot of these things, I think, are a result of a veteran quarterback that you have in Tucker Gleason. Again, his 5th year in this system. Seems pretty comfortable tonight. It's that what a big throw and catch he had to Junior Vandeross on that seam route.
Touchback there, NIU desperate for some offensive production, trailing 21-3.
I mean, this is such a crucial drive for NIU right here. I mean, Toledo has scored touchdowns on their last 2 drives, and they got to find a way to come up with something.
In Northern Illinois, 1-3 in the MAC. They've got to run the table just to be bowl eligible. Meanwhile, Toledo, they're still fighting to get into that top 2 and play for a MAC championship. They still feel like they kind of control their own destiny. If they win the next 4, they know chaos is going to happen in this conference. It always does in November.
It's just so much of the passing by NIU is just, it's Holtz just kind of chucking the ball in the air and hoping somebody catches it. That's not an effective pass game. Need some better route combinations. I mean, he's 0 for 4 on deep shots tonight, and he's open. I mean, the ball had way too much air under it. Just drive that ball in a dart right to your receiver on the sideline. Let him catch it, get out of bounds. Just can't come up with it. Very frustrating.
And now a flag pre-snap.
Snap infraction. Offense number 63. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
And you're seeing glimpses, as we just showed you the standings, why NIU finds themselves in this predicament at the bottom of a conference usually that they're in the mix to win, certainly in the upper half.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, this is an offense that scored 20 or more points just twice. That's just not going to get it done in college football these days.
A pitch on 2nd and 15. Hard running by Telly Johnson as he's wrestled out of bounds. Gain of 6.
You can see the speed of this Toledo defense, just stringing that thing out, pushing it toward the sideline. They pick up a couple. Braden Alls with the tackle. Braden Alls had a great couple weeks. Last week, 2 interceptions. And there's one of the best defensive coordinators in America, in my opinion, Vince Karras. Been doing it a long, long time. He's got one heck of a unit here. We're going to lock these guys up on the outside. Let that line eat.
3rd and 9. Check down. Right back to Johnson Jr. He tried to lay the lumber to pick up that first down, and Andre Fuller stood tall, bounced him out. Shy of the 6. There's Karras, and his defense may have to defend a 4th and 1 here. Depends on what NIU elects to do.
Wow, I think it's hard to go for it here on your own, 34-yard line. Wildcat formation by NIU. And Toledo's trying to sub in some bigger guys. Referees holding it, allowing Toledo to get their guys on the field. Now they call a timeout.
Defensive coordinator Vince Karras was calling for that timeout. He was upset that his personnel wasn't quite right there. I think part of it, Rocky, and you mentioned it, is, if you're the defensive coordinator, you're thinking, well, surely they're going to punt this from their own 34.
That's exactly what it was. We're not ready for it. I still
second charge timeout, Toledo.
Don't like this decision by NIU. I understand what Thomas Hammock's thinking. We haven't stopped them the last 2 drives. We got to figure out a way to keep our offense on the field. But, man, you don't get this. It's tough.
Well, if you don't get this, now you give Toledo a short field. They could score another touchdown before halftime, and you're out of this game.
I think if you're NIU, you got to rethink this.
There's the head coach, Thomas Hammock, won a MAC championship for his alma mater, NIU.
And now you don't get the element of surprise that you had.
Good point.
When you're running to the line, you allow Toledo to come to the line, come to the sideline, and look at them packing it in here.
No Wildcat. Holtz, the quarterback, goes under center. He needs a yard. Trying to push that pile, and he got it. By a matter of inches, but the official signal, first down NIU, and the Thomas Hammock gamble pays off.
He's very fortunate. You see Toledo packing it in.
That's Justin Lynch, the redshirt senior who came in under center there.
The ruling on the field was that the runner passed the line to gain for a first down. That's under further review.
And they're going to take a look at this, because even on that replay we just showed you, it was tough to see if that ball gained a yard.
Now, Lynch's head certainly got past the line, but it obviously is about where the ball is. And it's really tough to see it. Let's see if this angle is a little better. That ball is low around his waist. I think if it's up kind of around his chest, it's more definitive. And you see Carter gets some penetration. That really stopped the forward momentum.
First and 10, Northern Illinois.
So it's upheld, and I think that's because the call on the field was a first down, and you didn't get a definitive look to say that was 100% short. Now, fun fact for those that remember the true glory years for Northern Illinois football, Justin Lynch, he is the younger brother of Heisman Trophy finalist Jordan Lynch, who had one of the best seasons in Huskies history. So he comes in and keeps the drive alive. Quarterback keeper falling forward, Josh Holtz. Now he can run it. First time we've really seen him do it on a designed run for him, gain of 8. NIU certainly with the clock in consideration as well. You don't want to give the ball back to Toledo here before halftime. In a dream scenario for the Huskies, you wind this clock down and leave with points. Holst, flushed right, pressure bearing down, he has to throw it away.
He had his running back, Telly Johnson, on a rail route down the sideline, but it was well covered, nowhere for Holst to go with it. Chavon Sherman, who's been seemingly everywhere tonight for Toledo's defense. And there you see it right there, just a good job on the back end. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, we talked about him before the game, a future NFL prospect. Good job in pickup.
NIU 0 for their last 6 on third down, and they're going back to a unique formation with Lynch under center, this time to no avail. Blown up in the backfield. The Toledo defense delivers again. Rickey Williams the stop, and it's a loss of 3. That brings us to our 2-minute timeout as Toledo continues to dominate on both sides of the ball.
It's a great job by Williams there, forcing a negative yardage play. I don't think NIU's going to be able to go for it here, but here's the scoring drive. Last one by Toledo. Seam route down hash. Toledo up 21-3. 2 minutes to go in the half.
When the season demands more, you come prepared. With more warmth where it matters. More control when it counts. More confidence to go further. You're more than ready to make this winter yours. During the Mitsubishi year-end sales event, drive away in a new Mitsubishi SUV with 0% for 60 months on every model.
Zubin, looking forward to being back with you guys in the studio at halftime. NIU forced to punt it away yet again in this first half.
Great punt.
The Huskies have moved the ball at times in this first half, but don't have the points to show for it. Toledo, a comfortable 21-3 lead and a chance to add to this lead with the ball back and one timeout. Monday Night Football, you don't want to miss it. Eagles at Packers. 8 Eastern time on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the all-new ESPN app. Peyton and Eli Manning have you covered on ESPN2. You got to give Toledo a huge shout-out when you talk about the Eagles' first-round pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, Quinyon Mitchell. The Eagles starting corner has been fantastic.
Super Bowl champ.
With the Rockets, they have become a little bit of defensive back you. They've got a terrific unit. You know, Mitchell was the headliner, but you're going to see Braden Alls and Emmanuel McNeil-Warren playing on Sundays in the future as well.
Coach told us there's 11 NFL scouts here, most of them here to see Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. We haven't called his name a ton here tonight, but a great player in that secondary.
So NIU has used one of their 2 remaining timeouts to stop the clock with 1:48 to go after a loss of 2. I think they're hoping they can get the ball back here. But a risky game when Toledo has been known for explosive plays throughout this season. And the last thing you want to do is give the Rockets more time to put more points on the board before halftime.
And I think it's the fact they got that negative yardage stop there on first down there. Call a timeout. Yeah, it's tough when your offense struggles as much as it has. Try to find a way to get that ball back.
Gleason throwing. Perfect again. Junior Vander Ross. Tucker Gleason has completed his last 12 throws in this game. He is dialed in as he goes to the 2-minute drill.
And I think the thing with Gleason over his career is it's just been consistency. Like you said, completed 12 in a row, and then sometimes for whatever reason he'll miss some open guys. And you know, if he can keep that level of consistency up, he's one of the best.
Play action, Gleason. Well, there was contact in the secondary. Head coach Jason Candle wanted a flag thrown. He didn't get one. Jacob Finley collided with Vander Ross. The officials say it was incidental contact. Candle has another opinion. We'll show you another look here.
He's going for the ball. He's not turned back. It's not like he's grabbing. I think
that's the right call.
It's the right call. I get Candle. Candle's got to sell it, though.
Absolutely. 2nd and 10. Gleason going to run it himself. Trying to get out of bounds, and he can't do it, so this clock will run. Toledo only one timeout. You don't want to use it here ahead of a 3rd down.
Yeah, great job by Jacob Finley, the cornerback, tackling Gleason inbounds.
So Northern Illinois elects to use their last timeout.
Northern Illinois.
Again, I think the thought is if you get the stop here, they have to punt the ball back. But you take the other viewpoint, which was Toledo now has time to collect their thoughts. The clock stops with 1:25, and now if they convert, you've just given the Rockets a free timeout.
Well, and the biggest thing, Jay, is this is the dead last passing offense in college football. You know, so you're talking about trying to put together a 2-minute drive. Well, now with a minute 25 or less.
Right, even if you do get the ball back, what are you going to do with it?
That's chunk yardage plays down the field. They've not shown at any point this year they can consistently push the ball down the field. I really question this decision by NIU.
NIU only 46 yards of passing on the night. So if you get the ball back, there's no guarantee you do anything with it. Need the stop first, and they don't get it. Big play, Ryder Treadway on a 3rd and 3. Takes it all the way near the 50 for a gain of 21.
Great job. Junior Vander Ross wheels up the sideline, clears everybody out. And then Ryder Treadway, the freshman, follows right behind him, catch, get out of bounds.
Now Toledo with a real shot. 1 timeout, a fresh set of downs, a minute 18 left in this half. Gleason, and that's a rare drop by Junior Vander Ross. Those two have one of the best connections in all of college football. If you look at the last 2 years, no quarterback and wide receiver have completed more passes and catches to each other than those two.
Yeah, it was a great time to push the ball down the field. 1st down, try to take a shot, and you're right, that's not something you see Junior Vander Ross do much. Drop a wide open ball.
Just the 3rd incompletion of the night for Gleason, and 2 have been drops. He has been super accurate on a windy night in November. Screenplay, couple of blocks, running hard. Chip Trainum, 1st down Toledo.
Chip Trainum looks fresh, right? He missed the last 2 games, but now he's back. Looks healthy, and watch this little screen. He lets his offensive lineman, has the patience to let them get out in front of him, and then just breaks tackles.
Play action. Gleason under pressure, throws over the middle of the field, and a flag flies in. Tried to go to Vander Ross. Jasper Beeler in coverage. And he might have got there early.
And on the initial look, Jay, it looked like Beeler did get there
Pass
early.
Defense number 32. 15-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
He got there, just a little body contact.
Correction. The foul was on number 22 of the defense. 22.
And that puts Toledo in the red zone. 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line.
Toledo, Jay, still has that 1 timeout.
Gleason, quick hitter, finds Vander Ross. He's dangerous, and that's why untouched into the end zone for a Toledo touchdown. most impressive drive of the night for Toledo. They go 92 yards in just a minute and 3 seconds. They were aided by 2 NIU timeouts that did not pan out.
Jack Vander Ross to the outside and Sam Lee on the outside. Look at 43 with a great block on the outside there on Taylor Powell. That allowed Vander Ross turn that thing, wheel it upfield, and get in the end zone.
And Toledo has made a statement in this second quarter.
And I think you got to mention, Jay, the fact that, again, NIU calls 2 timeouts during that drive. It allowed more time for Toledo, allowed them to go to the sideline and figure out their best play. That's why we questioned that decision when it happened.
That's the touchdown, Tank. And we're below 40 degrees here on a Wednesday night in Toledo.
Better you than me, my friend. That's tough sledding there.
And let's explain the touchdown, Tank. So this started in 2022. They put a student in there, and every time there's a touchdown, they get dunked. But you got to stay in there the whole quarter. So Toledo's got 3 touchdowns in the second quarter. That's 3 dunks in the tank.
The later and later it gets, the more that temperature drops too. Is there anything worse than wet jeans? But tell you what, Tucker Gleason really playing well tonight. Been very accurate in the pass game.
Toledo outscoring NIU 21-0 in the second quarter. Junior Vander Ross, he's loving it over on the Toledo sideline. You know, in the first quarter, only 40 yards for the Rockets of offense. In this second quarter, 209. They've just found a new gear.
On 3 straight touchdown drives.
And this is why Toledo is not out of it when it comes to the MAC championship race. Arguably the most talented team in the conference. They've got those 2 one-score losses where they led in the second half. But if they can play like they have in this first half, there's no reason why they can't win the remaining games they've got on their schedule. The one thing they've yet to do is prove they can do it on the road. They're 4-0 at home, 0-4 on the road.
And it's night and day how they've played here at home versus on the road.
Holst, pump fake, just gets swallowed up in a first half to forget for Josh Holst to this Huskies offense.
Yeah, and Toledo's lead right now is 25 points, and it might as well be 45 with just how anemic this NIU offense has been all year. Really tough for them at this point to come back.
It's the end of the first half.
Yeah, you're going to need some turnovers, some special teams, plays that go your way, because right now, Toledo in control. They scored 21 unanswered to finish the first half here at home. Let's get you into the studio. Zubin Mehenti and the crew have you covered with Toledo up big at the break.
When the season demands more, you come prepared. With more warmth where it matters. More control when it counts. And more confidence to go further. You're more than ready to make this winter yours. During the Mitsubishi year-end sales event, drive away in a new Mitsubishi SUV with 0% for 60 months on every model.
Now support and defend Constitution of the United States. Bear true faith and allegiance to the same. Obey the orders of the President of the United States and the officers appointed over me, according to Army regulations and uniform code of military justice. So help me God.
When the season demands more, you come prepared. With more warmth where it matters, more control when it counts, and more confidence to go further. You're more than ready to make this winter yours. During the Mitsubishi year-end sales event, drive away in a new Mitsubishi SUV with 0% for 60 months on every model.
Our short history teaches us that when we are allied, we stay united. We saw this when U.S. forces liberated lands from the European and Pacific theaters 80 years ago. And in the 1.8 million service members presented the Purple Heart, and the greatest sacrifice for breaking off their pucks from the line of duty. Their actions of heroes are little for gratitude and pride as they reflect on their sacrifices. When we're safe and protected, we flourish.
When the season demands more, you come prepared. With more warmth where it matters, more control when it counts, and more confidence to go further. You're more than ready to make this winter yours. During the Mitsubishi year-end sales event, drive away in a new Mitsubishi SUV with 0% for 60 months on every model.
So make some noise when Illinois has the ball. We sound that story. Then everyone leads with 3 tater tots. Courtesy of Brothers 23.
Mom, Dad.
Mother David. Happy holidays.
David. Thank you, Mum. David, our son. Very nice.
Other David. Also our son.
Oh, well, you know.
Yeah, that's good. We're good. 2 more days.
When the season demands more, you come prepared. With more warmth where it matters. More control when it counts. More confidence to go further. You're more than ready to make this winter yours. During the Mitsubishi year-end sales event, drive away in a new Mitsubishi SUV with 0% for 60 months on every model.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Ram, official sponsor of the College Football Playoff. Rocky Boyman, Jay Alter with you. Toledo, 21 unanswered in that second quarter as we start the third. The home team Rockets in the driver's seat. They have separated thanks to some great quarterback play. Tucker Gleason finding his top target, Junior Vandeross, throughout that first half.
Yeah, Tucker Gleason's been fantastic. 19 of 22, 214 yards, 1 passing touchdown, and that 1 rushing touchdown as well. He's really been feeling it, connecting, putting the ball all over the place, of course, finding his top target. Best receiver in the MAC, Junior Vandeross. It's also been great for the Rocks to get Chip Trainum back in the lineup after missing 2 weeks. But Toledo's offense, early on sputtered a little bit, but then 3 straight touchdown drives to close out the half.
Vandeross was one of them. The 2 kids that grew up in Tampa, Florida, now seniors at Toledo, doing big things in action like they've done throughout their careers. We showed you in the first half, no quarterback wide receiver in the country have more receptions over the last 2 college football seasons than these 2 guys, and it's showing up in a big way in a game that Toledo needed to win if they were going to stay in the hunt for a MAC championship. And so far in the first half, a dominant display, a well-deserved 28-3 lead. And look, NIU, you could say down but not out, but their offense is going to have to play out of their minds because they have struggled not just in the first half, but all season long to throw the ball consistently and effectively.
Yeah, you're right. They're just not an offense that's built or shown the ability to be efficient in the pass game. And Jay, just 78 total yards in the first half. That's a season low for the Huskies.
Yeah, NIU was outgained by 171 yards in that first half. Worst yardage margin this team has had since 2021 when they played Michigan. Quarterback keeper on first down. That's probably what the Huskies need more of. You're not going to get it in the passing game like you just said, Rocky, but can you run the ball effectively?
Yeah, and that's what they do best. And the only problem is they're down 25 points, and it's going to be tough sledding. Keep running the ball.
Keep it on the ground here. A couple of broken tackles. That's Telly Johnson Jr., the sophomore from Augusta, Georgia. Mark just a yard shy of the first down marker. 3rd and 1 upcoming.
Telly Johnson needs a pop and explosive play. He has 3 50-plus yard touchdowns on the year. Had one last week in their win against Ball State. He's going to go off the field right here, though.
Wildcat formation. Chavon Wright, the starting running back, is awaiting the direct snap. Takes it himself. Has the first down. Plowing forward to the 40-yard line. And NIU moves the sticks.
NIU needed that. They got to keep Tucker Gleason, this hot offense, on the sideline and try to find a way to get a scoring drive themselves. And there see Chavon Wright just always falling forward, always going downhill, picks up first.
NIU was in this game. It was 7-3 at the end of the first quarter. The lone touchdown for Toledo was the opening kickoff return. And then the second quarter, wheels fell off for the Huskies. They allowed 3 straight touchdowns. Their offense couldn't produce much. They're trying to get back in it here. That'll help. Going up for the jump ball, and Rickey Taylor Jr. brings it down. His first catch of the season, and it comes against Andre Fuller in good coverage for a gain of 41.
And finally, Holt's able to take advantage of a wide open receiver down the sideline. And Fuller catches up, but a great job high pointing that ball.
Blown up in the backfield. After the big gain of 41, Luce Julian shoots in for a loss of 5.
Great job high pointing that ball by Taylor. Fuller wasn't able to get his eyes around. He didn't know where the ball was coming down at, and Taylor went up and snagged it.
But it's about stringing positive plays together. You get that big gain of 40 plus, and then you lose 5.
Lose 5.
That is what has plagued Northern Illinois, not just tonight, but all season long. Throwing, lofted it up there, big hit. That's Emmanuel McNeil Warren. He laid some serious lumber against Jake Applegate. We told you in the first half, but we'll repeat it. There are 9 NFL scouts here to see Emmanuel McNeil Warren. He will be picked the first 3 rounds in the NFL draft.
And McNeil Warren, as we've talked about, is a guy that one of the best things he does is separate ball from ball carrier. Lays a big hit on Jake Applegate.
And there was no flag thrown. Applegate has stayed down and is getting medical treatment. But they say it is a legal hit. Well, we'll step aside. Applegate gets some treatment.
When the season demands more, you come prepared. With more warmth where it matters. More control when it counts. And more confidence to go further. You're more than ready to make this winter yours. During the Mitsubishi year-end sales event, drive away in a new Mitsubishi SUV with 0% for 60 months on every model.
Really encouraging to see the tight end Jake Applegate walk off the field under his own power. Heading into the medical tent. This was the hit, Rocky.
Yeah, and I know everyone these days freaks out when they see a big collision, but there's no forcible contact to the head or neck area. He does not use the crown of his helmet. That is a legal, great football play.
A hard hit by the senior Emmanuel McNeil Warren, but a clean one. Brings up 3rd and 15. Wrestled down. Josh Holst was in hot pursuit. Avery Dunn, the junior, and it's a loss of 1.
Avery Dunn was on the hunt on that play.
And the Toledo defense stands tall. NIU, they were moving the ball effectively downfield in the entire first half. They only gained 78 yards on this drive, 50.
Now kicking into the wind. Now the wind has died down a bit since the start of this game, but kicking into it nonetheless.
Andrew Glass connected from 50, but that was the wind behind him. Now kicking into that wind, and he misses it way wide. No good. So NIU stuck at 3. Toledo up 28-3. When we come back, one of the best players to ever play football in the state of Ohio, Ted Ginn Jr., joins the show.
Popeye's $6 Big Box is back. 2 pieces of signature chicken or 3 tenders, 2 sides and a biscuit. One serious deal. Make Thanksgiving just as easy and delicious with Popeye's Cajun-style turkey. Love that chicken from Popeyes.
When the season demands more, you come prepared. With more warmth where it matters. More control when it counts. And more confidence to go further. You're more than ready to make this winter yours. during the Mitsubishi year-end sales event. Drive away in a new Mitsubishi SUV with 0% for 60 months on every model.
Back here in Toledo, the Rockets leading 28-3. What a special treat for us. Ted Ginn Jr. joining the broadcast. Ted, they must have known that you were in the building tonight because the opening kick was returned for a touchdown. How many times did you do that in your career?
Well, I did it a couple times.
A couple times.
I left a stain on you guys, state of Ohio, but it's kind of rare that you can come in the stadium and you see a kid start on the right side and come to the left and then end up in the end zone. So it was great to see it.
Awesome.
But three-time All-American at The Ohio State University, then 14 years in the NFL. And you're here at Toledo tonight because you have joined the Team Trestle Fitness Challenge, a huge initiative in the state of Ohio. It's got to be funny for you that after all these years, Coach Trestle picked up the phone and said, hey, I want you back on my team.
Well, yeah, he reached out to me. Back at home, I have a youth program called Get Elite, so he knows that I'm in with the community, and I'm in with the young kids, I'm in with what's going on. So once he called me and asked me to get on board, it was my duty to be able to come out and show fitness. I showed it for so many years, playing in the NFL, playing at The Ohio State University, but it's a lifestyle now. And for us to be able to live the right way and have our whole community, our state, families, change the direction of how you see different things.
Right, absolutely. So what are some of the specific things you're trying to get, especially kids, to do when it comes to fitness?
Well, it's create healthy habits. At the end of the day, we always go out and do the 4 cores that I say, and that's cardio, physical, strength, balance, and different things like that. But we never really hone in on sleep, how we eat, quiet time, different things that kind of help organize who we are and how they all relate together. And I think what the Team Fitness Challenge and what the state want to do and the governor really want to do is leave a stamp that is not only going to come through the kid, but then it takes over the families.
And you and Coach Trestle, you're targeting those 4th to 8th graders. How important is it to start young? Because when you embed those habits at an early age, they're with you the rest of your life.
I mean, I think from 4th to 8th is that real good area where grandmas are still involved.
Whole family.
The whole family atmosphere runs between a 4th and an 8th grader. And we try to eliminate the sports part of it, and just really show that no matter if you at home or a gym or at the stadium or you're in the parking lot, like, you can still do fitness.
Yeah, just go out and play, right? Just run around
and I think that's not created as much as it was when we was a kid. We stood and at games like this, we'll be over at that field over there playing football with a shoe and different things like that. You know what I'm saying? So just trying to create a way where a top-notch athlete and a kid that doesn't play sports can have something so they could have some type of camaraderie.
Right. Well, and that just being a player, I mean, habits are learned. They got to be taught. You got to do them. And again, especially doing it at a young age, introducing this thing is something they'll hold on to and hopefully carry with them the rest of their life.
For sure. I mean, it's just amazing that you go in and now that we're visiting schools and we're going to different places, the challenge has already started. So you're able to go in and they're able to tell you something about the challenge. And I think that's the best thing about it.
That's incredible. Doing great work. This just started, just a couple of months underway. You joining your former head coach, Jim Trestle, for the Team Trestle Fitness Challenge, encouraging healthy habits in students. Just an incredible job, Ted. We really appreciate the time. I'll get you out on this. Is The Ohio State University going back-to-back?
For sure.
You heard it from Ted Ginn Jr., 3-time All-American, 14-year NFL career. Ted, really appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Ted. Yep. Appreciate it.
Now, it'd be very fitting if NIU returned this punt for a touchdown. We already saw a kickoff return for a touchdown with Ted Ginn Jr. in the house. And the Huskies desperately need it. That was great stuff from Ted Ginn Jr., one of the best players to ever do it in the state of Ohio.
Yeah, and, I live in the state of Ohio, Jay, so I know for a while about Governor DeWine's initiative to get people, especially young people, fit, and bringing on Jim Tressel as the lieutenant governor. And I mean, what two better people in this state to roll something like this out?
Now, if there's one thing I know you support, it is fitness and health.
Being active.
You look like you could still run down on special teams.
As long as Ted Ginn Jr. wasn't back there,
Exactly.
might be all right.
Well, you overlapped for a couple of years of the NFL, so I didn't know if you ever brought him down on a kick return or not.
I think, if I recall, a long time ago, my last game as an NFL player was 2009 with the Steelers. We played the Dolphins down at their place. I had a couple of tackles on kickoff. I think one might have been against. I'm not sure.
New quarterback in for NIU. This is the true freshman Brady Davidson. They have struggled to put points on the board on the road against Toledo. Deflected ball at the line of scrimmage. Knocked down by Eshawn Carter. That brings up 3rd and 8. And I think the Huskies are just looking for anything offensively, so why not give the true freshman a shot?
Yeah. I think there's been plenty of opportunities for Holst. Let's get a look at Davidson here.
Davidson looking to throw for the first time tonight. And it's an interception. There's a flag down, but as it stands, Andre Fuller has picked off the true freshman, Brady Davidson.
Pass interference, defense. The ball will be placed in the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
So that negates the interception. Pass interference called against Fuller. And NIU gets a first down.
We're going to look at it here. Hopefully, look like Fuller might have pushed him up. Look at the top of the screen. Fuller in man coverage. I just got a little shove there at the end. But either that was an errant throw. Wasn't too much contact there. But that helps out Davidson.
Yeah, it keeps the drive alive for the true freshman out of Columbia, Missouri. Right in the shadows of Mizzou. He was loading up for a deep ball, instead taken down. Anthony Dunn Jr., the senior transfer from Florida A&M. Loss of 6 on the sack.
Well, you're right. Davidson was raring back to heave that thing down the field. The only problem is Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. You see him going there right there in the deep middle. I mean, he's right over top of that post route. That's exactly where Davidson wanted to go, but you're not going there with big number 7 on the back end.
If you're McNeil-Warren, you're trying to bait him into throwing that football.
Throw it.
The ball hawk, who has 9 NFL scouts in the building to see him.
He looks like how an NFL safety's built, you know, tall, thin, but long, long arms, long legs, covers a lot of ground, but he's also a guy that can come up in that run. We talked about his innate ability to punch balls out, rip balls out, and create some of those takeaways. That is absolute gold when you talk about the NFL, the next level.
Well, keep an eye on 7, top of your screen in the secondary on this 3rd and 11. Trying to get NIU off the field. Davidson going for the home run. Couldn't connect with Rogers. And the Toledo defense delivers again. How many times have we said that tonight?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's nothing against Holst or Davidson. This is just, again, this is one of the best units in the MAC. There's Vince Karras, the D coordinator. Again, one of the best in the MAC, if not the country. And Toledo's defense, Jay, they got guys that can lock you up man to man, okay? And when you have that ability, all right, then you can just let those interior guys, your front 7, concentrate on stopping the run. The defensive line can get after the pass rusher. You don't need to be, trying to double guys and do all that when you've got lockdown secondary players.
Saturday, our ABC college football triple header kicks off with a Big 12 showdown. Number 7 BYU in Lubbock to take on number 8 Texas Tech. The winner of that game in the driver's seat to win the Big 12. And then it's Texas A&M at Mizzou, and LSU at Alabama is the nightcap. It'll be very interesting to see how this LSU team comes out of the bye week after firing their head coach Bryant Kelly to take on Alabama on the road. And Alabama now very much in the mix to win the SEC, to be a top 4 team in the college football playoff.
Ty Simpson, their quarterback, you know, he's on that short list of maybe 3 guys for the Heisman. He's been fantastic here, really ever since week 1.
Tucker Gleason to the Rockets offense in control of this one, 28-3. They've been very effective passing the ball tonight, but with such a big lead, you expect them to keep it on the ground in this second half.
Yeah, Jason Candle got to be pleased with his team.
And look at what Jason Candle has done here in Toledo. You talk about all the heavy hitters in college football: Georgia, Alabama, Clemson, Boise State, Oklahoma. And Toledo's right there with a 6th active bowl eligible streaks.
And that goes all the way back to Matt Campbell.
Yep.
Right. And then he takes the Iowa State job, and Jason Candle takes over and done a fantastic job.
Yeah, for 10 of those 15 years, it's been Candle. Big run here. Chip Trainum. Another Toledo first down into NIU territory, gain of 12.
I mean, one of the more balanced offenses in the MAC, right, Jay? I mean, you know, how got weapons on the wide receiving core, but also look at the line. I mean, look at the blocking you're getting. I mean, Anthony Boswell, the center, is just locking dudes up, and then you got a running back like Chip Trainum with the size and the speed. You got Kenji Christensen, kind of the change-up back. It's just, they are the total package in the MAC.
Right back to Trainum. He's a very patient runner. He lets that hole develop and then hits it hard.
Yep, that's it. You don't, as a runner, want to outrun your blockers. It's such a fine line because you want to hit that hole and you don't want to wait around, but you got to let the play develop. If you're pulling guys, you're trapping guys, you got to let that open up a bit before you hit it. He has a real good knack for it.
And now Trainum, another catch. He's been very active. That is his 6th catch of the night. After missing 2 games, very involved, and I think he's a difference maker. If Toledo can keep him healthy, they can run the table the rest of the way, which would put them right in position to play for another MAC championship.
In ways, Trainum reminds me of a former great running back at Toledo, Kareem Hunt, right? Just a big, thick guy, but also just has the explosion. Hard to bring down.
This is the backup quarterback, Caleb Osborne, taking his first snap of the night. Redshirt freshman out of Pontiac, Michigan.
And we talked to some coaches around Toledo yesterday and today, and they are extremely excited about the future with Caleb Osborne. I mean, he's going to be the guy next year after Tucker Gleason leaves, and they think certainly as a runner and as a passer, future is bright with him.
Play action. Gleason back into the game, slings it over the middle, and it's caught. That's a great grab by Sam Lee, known more as a blocking tight end. Hauls that in for a 2nd grab of the season.
And Toledo loves the middle of field. They exploit it better than maybe any team I've seen this year. You know, and that comes down to Tucker Gleason, accurate throws, guys that know how to get open. And nothing defense hates more than when you're just punching away at the middle of the field. That's just like daggers through you.
1st and goal. Keep it on the ground, and it's a touchdown. Kenji Christian barrels his way in. And Toledo continues to pour it on a Wednesday night.
Now it's Kenji Christensen's turn, a little zone run. Just great job blocking again up front. Lowering his shoulder. This is a physical unit that Toledo has as well.
Well, they are making a statement tonight. They're not out of this race for a MAC championship. A dominant effort.
And the offense has really just hit its stride in the first half and continued all the way through into the third quarter. It's 35-3 Rockets.
When the season demands more, you come prepared. With more warmth where it matters. More control when it counts. And more confidence to go further. You're more than ready to make this winter yours. During the Mitsubishi year-end sales event, drive away in a new Mitsubishi SUV with 0% for 60 months on every model.
Back here in Toledo where the home team Rockets are in control, 35-3 lead. They're chasing another one of those MAC championships. They would love to add a 2025 to that list. The last time they won it was 2022. You take a look at the standings, and it can be a little misleading because there's still a lot of football to be played in November, and those two losses for Toledo, both one-score losses on the road. If they can win out, chances are this is the MAC. There is going to be chaos. These teams have to play each other with one loss, and Jason Candle told us if we win out, we're going to play for a MAC championship.
Absolutely, and I think this is a good game for them to kind of really start to make the push here. And then, of course, at Miami next week, it's all in front of them.
We got MACtion all over the country. Let's check in with the studio with Zubin for an update. That's what you love about MACtion, Zubin. You never know what's going to happen on a Tuesday or Wednesday night in November. That looks like a fun one between Kent State and Ball State.
How about Kent State really surprising some people and exceeding expectations this year? Right in that ball game.
Yeah, you get some trick plays, a couple direct snaps. You trying to make something happen. NIU, they have struggled for those explosive plays on offense tonight. This game was 7-3 at the end of the first quarter, and since it has been a one-way Toledo runaway train. NIU has gone to the backup quarterback, true freshman Brady Davidson. This is his second drive and hasn't sparked much.
Yeah, it's just been a rough year for NIU, and this is their last year in the MAC. They'll go to the Mountain West next year. Probably not the way they wanted to go out.
Yeah, this is a team that's usually, we just showed the standings, battling at the top. Won a MAC championship in 2021 with Thomas Hammock. And this is a team that beat Notre Dame last season, a Notre Dame team that played for a national championship.
I'd almost had that put out of my mind, Jay. It reminded me as a former Domer.
A former Notre Dame captain.
And that's right. That was just 1 year ago. They go into South Bend and shock the world. And now it's just, it hasn't really worked out for them. It's the offense, obviously. They just lack identity on offense.
It's the combination of an offense that has struggled throughout the season, but also going against a Toledo defense that is number 3 in the entire nation in total yards allowed. So Toledo's not making it easy on them. And this is a defense playing with a lot of confidence here in November as we head into the stretch of the season.
Well, again, we go back to it. Last week in that win over Ball State, NIU rushed for 305. That's just wasn't happening here tonight.
And tonight they only have 44 yards rushing, so well below that 300 number. They might not even hit 100. Tomorrow, tons of hockey across ESPN's family of networks. 9 NHL games highlight the ESPN Plus schedule. And then tomorrow night, Capitals at Penguins, 7:30 Eastern Time. Panthers at Kings at 10 Eastern Time. Hockey night Thursday across ESPN Plus. Tucker Gleason still in the game for Toledo, the starting quarterback who's done more than enough to separate the home team Rockets of this one. When would you think about taking him out of this game, Rocky?
I'd get this thing.
34, 5-yard penalty, first down.
I think you let him go this drive here, hopefully put some more points on the board, and maybe in the fourth quarter, I think you look at getting some work in for Caleb Osborne. Did have that one run earlier. But again, a guy, in terms of the future, they really, really like. You don't want a repeat of the Jaden Daniels situation. Like this is obviously flipped around. Toledo with a huge lead.
You saw Daniels head coach Dan Quinn even admit, I kept him in the game too long. That one's on me. There's a flag down at the line of scrimmage.
Osborne.
Holding off number 55. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Well, even though Toledo's up 35-3, their head coach Jason Candle won't be happy that they've started this drive with a false start and now a hold.
See right there, anytime those offensive linemen, look, there's holding that goes on every play, but anytime those hands get extended outside the framework of the defensive tackle, that flag is going to come.
It's so funny to hear you say there's holding on every play, because it's something that if you watch football enough, you just hear. But you've played it in the NFL for 8 years, 4 years at Notre Dame.
Those linemen are always holding, Jay. Always, every play.
So it's just a matter
Get away with it.
if it's egregious enough to call.
That's exactly right. It's almost like if you just do it every play, you go, well, they can't call a flag every play, right?
It's so funny you say that, too, because on the defensive side of the ball, I hear the really elite corners get away with, the hand checking.
Come on, it's hard to play defensive back.
Oh, God.
Let those wide receivers earn it. Let them earn their catches.
No defensive bias in this booth.
No, not at all.
2nd and 19 after they're clawing back some of the penalty yardage.
Speaking of wide receivers, the best one in the MAC, Junior Vander Ross.
In motion
great game
here.
tonight. Yep.
2 in blue. Gleason throws. It's caught. Gleason has been super accurate tonight, throwing a very catchable ball, and that sets up 3rd and manageable.
If Gleason can just bottle up whatever he's doing tonight and just keep it going the rest of the season, this offense will be unstoppable. I mean, he has shown big playability all throughout his career. He's played the better part of these last 4 years. And sometimes the consistency game to game is slipped, but tonight, man, he's on fire.
Started his college career at Georgia Tech, transferred in the middle of his freshman year to Toledo, reunited with his high school head coach, who's the offensive coordinator for the Rockets. Vander Ross, a big gain there. Talk about yards after the catch. That's the name of the game for Junior Vander Ross. Takes it for 28.
And just a great feel right there. Instead of turn that thing upfield, he just feels where to go. I'm going to bounce this thing back out to the sideline. He's got confidence in his speed, and a little high step there.
Vander Ross 3 yards shy of 100 tonight. Been the top target throughout the season for Gleason. Trainham bottled up that time. Taylor Powell the tackle for NIU. Toledo could be content to take this to the fourth quarter. This game was 7-3 at the end of the first. Well, In the last 2 quarters, Toledo has scored 28 unanswered, and they take a commanding lead into the 4th. A team that is certainly not out of the MAC championship race. They have made a statement through 3 quarters tonight. They have left no doubt the first MACtion Wednesday of what promises to be an exciting November in the midweeks of this conference has belonged to Toledo. 15 more minutes to continue to pour it on here at home.
Like us, you might be suffering from moderate to severe obstructive sleep apnea, or OSA. We are the undiagnosed. We've been told we snore at night and gasp for air. Daytime sleepiness is a drag, but we still have people who count on us. And we're more than just human beings. We are humans being. OSA is a chronic condition tied to breathing interruptions and oxygen deprivation during sleep. You're undiagnosed? Talk to your doctor about OSA. Let's keep being humans being.
I am Ron Williams, and I play receiver here at the University of Alabama. It feels great playing for the state that I was born in. I feel like a hometown hero. If I could tell my younger self something, it would be to stay humble, keep an attitude of gratitude, remembering where I come from.
Start of the 4th quarter, college football primetime presented by Ram Trucks. Head coach Jason Candle and his Toledo team, they have opened up a 35-3 lead here at the start of the 4th. A team that has just been remarkably consistent since the opening kickoff. They returned it for a 95-yard touchdown. The defense has done their job. NIU's only 3 points have come on a 50-yard field goal. Just a complete performance through 3 quarters, trying to keep it going here in the 4th, and they start right on cue, picking up a first down. You know, they are consistent on and off the field. They are the longest tenured staff in all of FBS. Head coach Jason Candle in his 10th season. They are the only program that has had a head coach and all their coordinators and the strength coach be at the same school for 6 years or more.
And Jay, the one constant in college football is movement, right? Player movement, coaches getting other jobs. But for Toledo, what a luxury to have that. Again, you get all those coaches and coordinators together. You throw in a quarterback who's been a part of this system for 5 years. I mean, it's just something you don't see anymore, but it shows the results.
And on the defensive side of the ball, they return their entire secondary, most of their defensive line and linebacker unit. You just don't see that level of player retention anywhere in college football. So when we ask the coaches why, they go, well, part of it is we're not moving.
Right. Yeah.
So if the coaches stay, the players are more likely to stay. And that has certainly been it for Toledo. The consistency with the coaches has led to player retention, and it leads to touchdowns. Right on cue, Toledo adds another. This time Gleason picks out Kenji Christian.
I mean, Gleason has just taken his game to another level. I mean, easily his best performance of the season. And it just leaked Kenji Christensen out of the backfield, and there's nobody home. And credit Tucker Gleason for finding him.
One last point on the coaching consistency. And I know this staff obviously has had opportunities to leave, and they've stayed together. But this year there has been a lot of openings already, and you just wonder, if you look at the track record of Candle and this staff, they haven't just done it 1 or 2 seasons. They've been doing it for a decade, and it has been dominant. As we step aside, Toledo up 42-3.
Mom, Dad.
Mother David. Happy holidays.
David.
Oh, thank you, Mum. David, our son. Very nice.
Other David. Thank you. Other David, also our son.
Oh, well, you know.
It's our own idea.
Yeah. Keep that one. Yeah, that's good. We're good. 2 more days.
I'm Kyan Anthony. I play shooting guard at Syracuse University.
I'm Ron Williams, and I play receiver here at the University of Alabama.
I'm Sarah Strong, and I play forward for UConn.
I'm Darren Peterson. I go to the University of Kansas. I'm a point guard. If I could tell my younger self something, it would be continue to listen to mom and dad. They always right.
It would be to stay humble, remembering where I come from.
I would tell her to get outside of her comfort zone more.
Legacy is just in the name. You got to kind of live up to it or accomplish something.
Oh, the college football playoff will be here before we know it. The committee had their first reveal last night of the top 25. So many storylines to choose from. Let's focus on the group of 5. Remember, conference champ, automatic bid out of the group of 5. It's wide open right now, Rocky.
And Jay, 2 teams we've called a couple of times this year. JMU, we had them last week strong, but Memphis, you know, really love what Ryan Silverfield has done. Talk about, you know, we're talking about the continuity of Toledo.
True.
Memphis is the same situation. They've had Silverfield there for a long time.
And all he does is win.
All he does is win.
So that game, Friday, 9 Eastern on ESPN. You don't want to miss it. The loser of this game, they're eliminated. They're out of the college football playoff race. The winner really basically takes all that percentage with them and becomes the front runner to be in that field of 12 to play for a national championship. Awesome.
That's going to be a fun one here this weekend.
And unfortunately for the MAC, they've completely cannibalized themselves and are eliminated from making it into the college football playoff because of all the parity and everyone beating up on each other. You know, it's likely going to be the winner of the American or James Madison, and then there's San Diego State lurking there in the Mountain West if all chaos breaks free. Intentional grounding called against the true freshman Brady Davidson.
Got to get outside that tackle box to throw the ball away, and fortunately he didn't. Something Brady Davidson, a freshman, will learn.
Davidson under pressure again, and once more he has to throw it away. This time there is a receiver in the area, and he did get out of the tackle.
I mean, this is a tough first action here really for Brady Davidson. It's not his first action, but his most action on the season. You're going up against this Toledo defense with an impeccable secondary. Front 7 is legit.
You watch this Toledo defense. How do they have 4 losses? I mean, they're 3rd in all of college football in total yards allowed. They've been dominant tonight. It's incredible that the little things that have gone wrong in those games have cost them 4 losses because they really should be much better than that. You know, 3 of those 4 losses, 1-score games.
Yep, and all their losses, as we mentioned earlier, on the road. You know, we talked to Jason Candle about that last night. Like, what's the deal, the home versus away thing? And he just said, you know, look, the MAC, you know, they're teams you play against every single year. You know each other. You know the little nuances of each team, and it's unfortunately bit Toledo a bit this year, but right now they're playing like the team that, you know, you thought they were, the defense you thought they were at the beginning of the season.
There's a flag down as the punt flies into the air. Fair catch called for by Bryson Hammer. Certainly has not been a lack of talent or ability, just those little details that have caught him on 4 Saturdays. That's what he said. You know, 4 Saturdays, we just haven't dialed into the details.
Illegal formation, 5 players in the backfield. Kicking team. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the kick. First down.
Well, this year on a Wednesday, all the details have been dialed in for Toledo. Tucker Gleason, the starting quarterback, he's got his helmet off for good reason. He's got him up big, 42-3.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay.
The Burger King Double Cheeseburger. A quarter pound of beef patties, flame grilled with 2 slices of melty cheese. It's love at first bite. We're not sure who invented the double cheeseburger, but it sure tastes like we did. You rule.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Ram, official sponsor of the College Football Playoff.
Oh, the College Football Playoff will be here before we know it. Toledo 42-3 in the fourth quarter, and they have put in their backup quarterback, Caleb Osborne. They are very high on this talented redshirt freshman from Pontiac, Michigan. He's played in 3 games so far this season. Particularly excels in the run game.
Yes. And, Tucker Gleason is going to leave this program at the end of the year, and they really think Caleb Osborne is the future. Great to get him some extended playing time here. He's going to get a whole quarter. And you can't say enough about Tucker Gleason. I mean, at the end of the day, championship football goes the way of your quarterback. And coming off tonight, if he can keep this up, 25 of 31, 309 yards through the air for Tucker Gleason.
Osborne leaves that pass short.
And this is Tucker Gleason's first 300-yard game of the year, and is now over 6,000 passing yards in a career.
Incredible.
And for him, same deal, like continuity. You get the same coach in Jason Candle, 5 years, where you can just continue to learn all the little details and be coached by the same guy year after year. It really makes a difference.
Osborne surveys, clean pocket, just couldn't connect with the tight end Connor Jones.
And he had Bryson Hammer open, crossing over the middle.
So you were just heaping praise on Gleason. Well, a week from tonight, he will be at Miami taking on the quarterback that...
How about that, DeQuan Finn?
He was backing up here at Toledo. DeQuan Finn, who could very well win another MAC championship with Miami. Won one here at Toledo. That game a week from tonight. And what will be a showdown in the MAC for who's going to be in that MAC championship race the rest of the way. We talked about how Tulane-Memphis is an elimination game in the American. That very much a week from tonight, an elimination game between Toledo and Miami, because you control that tiebreaker, which is so critical. And then Ball State and at Central Michigan to finish. So it's where Jason Candle was right when he said last night, it's all in front of us.
It's all in front of them. And a chance next week to do what they've not done all year, which is win a game on the road. And they are 0-4 on the road so far this year, and it'll be a great opportunity, but again, against one of the other best teams in the MAC.
And that is just one of those funny things where they're going to be 5-0 at home when this game goes final, and 0-4 away. Did you ever play on a team like that was so good at home and just couldn't win away?
I mean, look, it's always, especially in college, easier to win at home, just with travel and whatnot. But I've never been on a team at any level that had that kind of disparity of home and away. I mean, coming into this game, their 4 wins, they're averaging 48.8 points per game on the road, averaging under 15. I mean, it's such a disparity. They'll get an opportunity next week to right that wrong.
That's the numbers you just said. And they've added to that tonight.
That's incredible. 34-point difference home and away.
NIU just has never found an offensive rhythm. You have to credit the Toledo defense. They've made plays all night. But the Huskies just really struggling offensively.
Yeah, and it goes back to the thing that was their major downfall coming into this game, just not efficient at all in the pass game. And then Toledo's defense tonight did a great job stopping their strength, which is the run game.
Nearly picked off. Instead, just batted down. Lucas Lambert Pipkin, the sophomore defensive tackle. As Toledo started to rotate not just at quarterback, but throughout the defense as well. Just keep everybody healthy ahead of that showdown next week at Miami.
Well, and it's also important in a game like this, you get to get some backups on both sides of the ball, some reps, because depth is always an issue in college football. You got to have guys, when folks go down, that can step in and play, and they need experience, and they're getting some now.
Toledo head coach Jason Candle told us in our conversation last night, some guys that are only going to play on special teams are only going to play on third downs. He said, look, you might only have 7 plays tomorrow night, but it's going to be on national television. You can make a difference. If you block a punt, it's going to be your name on SportsCenter. So using the fact that the MAC plays these standalone games on Wednesday on national TV is a motivator for his group.
It's been so good for this conference to get these standalone games on prime time throughout the month of November. And what better way to show the kind of team you are for Toledo here in a big midweek game.
Delay a game. Kicking
just
team,
absolutely
5-yard
dominating.
penalty. 4th down.
Both coaches said who's going to come out with the edge on a Wednesday night, cold, windy on a Wednesday. And Toledo had the edge from the opening kickoff when they returned it for 95 yards, and NIU still searching for their edge.
Yeah, Trayvon Rudolph starts this thing off with a bang. Special teams so important in these matching games.
The Hammer backpedals for that one. Returns it past the 40. Look at that. 3rd in all of FBS in yards per game and yards per play. This Toledo defense continues to deliver. And again, mind-numbing that you could have those numbers and yet have 4 losses, and that's just the fine margins of college football that they've been on the wrong side of, 0-3 in one-score games.
I mean, they are first in the MAC coming into this game in scoring defense, rushing defense, passing defense, and total defense. And then they hold all those numbers below that here tonight against NIU. I mean, to lead in all those categories is just incredible.
And it's a testament to defensive coordinator Vince Karras and the players, the player retention piece of it. He touched on it earlier, but all we hear about transfer portal and NIL, and yet Toledo year in and year out, they return their best guys. And just a testament to the culture that has been created here, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. I think it helps when you see Quinyon Mitchell go in the first round of the Eagles say, hey, I can do it at Toledo.
Yeah, hey, you stay here, you get the continuity, you stay in the same system, right, where you learn and learn and learn over the years, and that's how you play your best. So I just don't know how these kids do it anymore, that you're with one program 1 year, and then you go to another program, completely different coaches, different system, different coaching points. it's just hard to get better as a player when you do that.
And I understand the money aspect of it, and that's extremely valuable. But when you're 20 years down the line, where do you bring your kids for homecoming? Where's home?
Where's your identity?
When you've played 3 schools in 4 years,
Caleb Osborne showing his running ability there, finding a little crease.
This is Connor Wallenczak with his first carry of the night. Feels like everybody's touched the ball tonight for Toledo. That's the luxury of a 42-3 game in the fourth quarter. We just showed you a few minutes ago that Toledo averages nearly 49 points per home game. So actually need this touchdown just to keep average, Rocky. Flag down.
Shift. Offense. 2 players who were in motion and did not get set before the ball was snapped. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Right back to Wallenczak. Even though the scoreboard is lopsided, you played football, Rocky. You know those twos. They want to show that they've got some ability here, and
it's an opportunity for you to show the coaches that you can play at this level. And that's the last thing you want to do as a player, is just kind of mail it in here, especially if you're a backup.
Quality reps. You never know when your number is going to be called. Somebody ahead of you in the depth chart goes down. Osborne scrambling, escaped a couple of sacks and falls forward, still short of the first down marker, but did gain 3. He's got some shiftiness to him.
He does. Got some wiggle. To see what Toledo does here.
Yeah, you're in no man's land because you're kicking against the wind. So I don't know if you want to attempt a field goal. I think Jason Candle's going to let his 2s go for it on 4th and 4. And he takes a timeout.
First charge timeout. Toledo.
And we'll take the timeout as well. 5:15 remaining. Toledo well on their way to 5 and 4.
When the season demands more, you come prepared. With more warmth where it matters. More control when it counts. More confidence to go further. You're more than ready to make this winter yours. During the Mitsubishi year-end sales event, drive away in a new Mitsubishi SUV with 0% for 60 months on every model.
So Ball State wins a thriller. They had a closer one than we've had into Toledo, but to show you how wild the MAC is, Ball State gets the win tonight. NIU last week, they beat Ball State 21-7. But Toledo misses the field goal. That's okay. They still have a 39-point cushion. So that's the thing. In today's college football, it has never been more of a week-to-week lead. NIU looks great last week, beats a good Ball State team that just won. They put 300 rushing yards on them. And tonight, they've only had 30 rushing yards. That's 10% of what they had against Ball State.
Huge disparity, but the credit for there goes to the Toledo defense.
No, and Toledo knew that they needed to win tonight to keep their hopes of a MAC championship alive, and they played like it. And in a big game, you need your stars to show up, and you look at the top 3 players on this roster for Toledo, and they all delivered. Quarterback Tucker Gleason, wide receiver Junior Vanderross certainly led the way.
And look at the night for Gleason, and there was 3 drops there too that he had. He was completely dialed in this evening.
And then on the defensive side of the ball, Emmanuel McNeil Warren led the way.
Yeah, he had that huge hit, separated the ball from the tight end, Jake Applegate.
It just feels like the big players showed up, and then the scoreboard reflects it.
That's what you need. I mean, the great football teams, your top players show up big in these games.
You won the Super Bowl with Peyton Manning, you know that.
Oh, yeah. You're not going anywhere unless, Peyton Manning plays well, and, Reggie Wayne catches touchdown passes, and Dwight Freeney gets sacks.
Shot block. Offense number 66 and 55. 15-yard penalty. First down.
I say it all the time, but good players are what win games. It really comes down to that. It sounds very simple, but most of the time it's a team with the best players that go get it done, especially to your point, Jay, when those primetime players that you have go out there and deliver and do what they're supposed to do.
Hey, we had Ted Ginn Jr. in here earlier. How many big Ohio State games did they win because he delivered in a big moment? That is the type of night it has been for NIU. An interception finds the freshman DJ Kelly. That is Kelly's first collegiate interception. And his teammates are all over him. There is a flag down. When you're a third string corner, true freshman, you get your first pick, your teammates are going to let you know it. But there's 3 penalty flags down on the field, so this could very well be negated. They're really taking their time to sort this out, which tells me there's probably multiple different infractions here.
There are 2 fouls in the previous play, both against Toledo. After the ball was intercepted, personal foul, illegal blindside block, number 98. That penalty is declined. Before the ball was intercepted, personal foul, illegal hands to the face, defense number 46. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
All right, so the interception will not stand for Kelly.
That stinks to have that interception negated for a youngster.
But also, I will say, a valuable lesson maybe. that you don't celebrate crazy until you know it's going to stand.
And that player right there looks like it was actually the right the tackle. Lane Mainsmith that had his hands in the face of the Toledo player. Yeah, I don't like that call.
Oh, you're heartbroken for Kelly.
Yeah.
They got that the wrong way. Yeah, if anyone's hands were in the face, it was the right tackle. So the drive continues for NIU with their backup quarterback, Brady Davidson. And now Toledo's backup defense, they kind of bow up here because you don't want to let the touchdown streak end here this late in the fourth quarter after you've gone the entire game, not allowing NIU to find the end zone. You know, the lone 3 points were scored on a 50-yard field goal.
And it was interesting how this game unfolded because Toledo gets the opening kickoff return for a touchdown, but NIU answered it. You know, their drive, they get that field goal, and then they hang in there, force Toledo to a couple punts, but then after that, the floodgates just opened.
That's 35 unanswered from the second quarter on. That carry will bring us down to the 2-minute timeout. Doubt the Huskies would run a play here ahead of a 3rd and 5.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
Well, Toledo, impressive. What more can you say? We've run out of superlatives for Rocky Boyman. They have delivered tonight and then some.
When the season demands more, you come prepared. With more warmth where it matters. More control when it counts. More confidence to go further. You're more than ready to make this winter yours. During the Mitsubishi year-end sales event, drive away in a new Mitsubishi SUV with 0% for 60 months on every model.
Just 2 minutes left of this one. Toledo up big, and you're checking out the Millbury Classic Cars and Trucks Museum just south of Toledo. All right, Rock, which one are you driving back to Cincinnati?
A few Impalas right there. I know my classic cars. I've always been a Corvette guy. I used to have one. I don't see any Corvettes. I see a Mustang in the back there. I like Mustangs, too.
Is that where the first NFL paycheck went to?
That's where my Super Bowl check went to. Yeah,
this is awesome.
Some old trucks. I love this stuff. I grew up, my dad was always working on a classic car and would get them, fix them all up. Then he'd just sell them. We never got to ride in them, actually.
You're like, Dad, when are we riding this one around the block? No. I like that one. Yeah. I'm not a car guy, but that orange one, that spoke to me.
Chevy.
Fourth and 1. Backup quarterback Davidson does extend the drive, moves the chains one more time tonight. And if you're NIU, now you're ruled out of bowl eligibility as they'll fall to 2-7. Toledo on their way to 5-4, still in the hunt for a MAC championship. Coming up Thursday, UTSA and South Florida. The Bulls still in the mix to win the American. And then Georgia Southern, App State over on ESPN2. I love all this midweek football, Rocky. We've been lucky to get some good ones in the Sun Belt, Conference USA, and now November really belongs to the MAC. They were the pioneers to take the chance on this midweek football. And, we're in the stretch of, someone put out the stat, 49 straight days of football between professional and collegiate. And if you're a football fan, what's better than that? Davidson in trouble, like NIU has been all night offensively. Just has to throw it away. The officiating crew gets one more flag in here with 48 seconds remaining.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 26 with a low hit on the quarterback. Penalize half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Gets around the legs. Not really sure what you're. This defense is fighting to try to keep that touchdown off the board, Jay, as you mentioned.
Yeah, NIU after the penalty now has it in the red zone. 9th play of a bizarrely long drive, 5 penalties, an interception that was overturned. Another drop there. Rickey Taylor Jr. couldn't hang on. 43 seconds remaining in this one. NFL Live will follow for those watching on ESPN2. I'm sure they'll be talking about the trade deadline. My Jets getting rid of their 2 best players, Quentin Williams and Sauce Gardner.
I saw you got 3 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks the next 2 years. I mean,
a couple good players too.
Hold up.
That was nearly picked off in the end zone.
Just a high throw. He's very lucky that didn't get picked.
There's the defensive coordinator, Vince Karras, trying to keep the no touchdown streak alive with 38 seconds remaining. Pass is caught but met immediately.
Hey, well, that's the other thing about this Toledo defense, Jay. They don't miss many tackles.
30 seconds away.
So this is interesting. NIU has called a timeout, and time wasn't really an issue. I mean, you got 30 seconds left, and it's 4th down.
I guess they want to try to dial up their best play to try to punch in the end zone.
Take something back with them, back to Northern Illinois. We remind you the Toledo schedule. That game a week from tonight at Miami. That's going to be critical. 2 teams that were projected preseason to be right in the thick of it, and here we are in November, and they are. If Toledo plays like they did tonight, they'll have every opportunity to go on the road and win that one.
Please reset the game clock.
That'll have all the storylines, as you mentioned earlier, Jay. DeQuan Finn, former Toledo quarterback, now quarterback at Miami. That's going to be a fun one. All right, here we go.
Yeah, this is, look, the win or loss has been out the window since the 3rd quarter, but Toledo's trying to preserve the no touchdowns allowed in this game, and NIU trying desperately to punch it in and go home with something. And that's the type of night it has been for the Huskies. Miscommunication between Rogers and Davidson. It bounces off his back, and that's a turnover on downs. Toledo will kneel it once, and this game will be over. So Toledo's going to go to 3-2, and then they got Miami, who's ahead of them a week from tonight. So if you win that game, you put yourself right back in the mix. And a lot of those one-loss teams
Ohio
get
and
to play each
Buffalo
other.
still got to play each other. Buffalo's still in the mix. And Ohio with a big win last night.
Huge.
Upsetting Miami.
Now, November, that's when these MAC teams separate. And now that there are no more divisions, they're all just in one big conference. Jason Campbell said it just makes the chaos amplified. There wasn't too much chaos tonight. Just a dominant victory. Toledo returned the opening kickoff for a 95-yard touchdown and kept their foot firmly planted on the gas. 42-3, the final score. Enjoyed this one, partner, from the Glass Bowl, as action has kicked off this week and will be the entire month of November on Tuesday and Wednesday nights. For Rocky Boyman, our terrific crew behind the scenes, I'm Jay Alder saying so long from Toledo. Let's get you to NFL Live on ESPN2.